would I rather live in the woods and go escape to a city to kind of, you know, just go on vacation? Or would I rather live in a city and go escape to the woods? Oh, the wintertime fun in tiny house living. You know, I try to bring as much information and education and things as possible that I can, but also try to be entertaining because, you know, why would I create content if it wasn't entertaining? It was just boring, right? Today we're going to be redoing the bathroom, and I'm going to talk a lot about that when I, you know, get into the whole building process of it. We have obviously, across the country, we have reached extreme cold temperatures, you know, and I'm wearing my hat because I'm actually about to go to the gym right now. I'm not cold inside my house, where I'm in a very comfortable 70 degrees inside my house. But there is one part of my tiny house that there's a downspout that is about 6 inches that is exposed to the elements outside. I didn't think that the water was going to freeze vertically like that, but duh, like it does. This happened. I throw up an image of what happened. That came out of the downspout, and I had to get a heat gun and just kind of heat it, the PVC pipe, whatever. I have insulated it, you know, after that point. Because I knew my tiny house was coming to Maine, I'm actually going to show you right now all my plumbing and how I did all that. Now, my washer and dryer is out here in my living space because I needed to change some things up. I wasn't really happy with how my bathroom was. Now, I'm going to turn around right now, and this is going to be my bathroom. I rushed a lot of my bathroom because I was trying to get out of my shop space because my lease was up. I was trying to move it to land. That whole freezing thing with the pipe, you know, I was actually in the middle of doing laundry. I'll just show you my draining. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. So that's why there's a whole bunch of clothes hanging behind me, and I'll explain that in a minute. So this is all of my plumbing, and we built out a false wall. You can see that, like, the wall right here is actually about an 8-inch gap off of the outside wall. In here is actually all temperature control. It's all part of my, you know, heating system, and it's nice and toasty in here. So none of these pipes freeze. This is the downspout right there, and that's the drain that goes outside. This right here is the drainage from my sink in my kitchen, and then this one over here is the drainage from my bathroom sink. And it obviously feeds into one vertical tube, and then this is actually the drainage from my washer dryer unit. There's a thing that goes down in there, and then this is actually just venting. You have to vent it. So that needs to be at the highest point. So when the ice was built up, you know, in this downspout going down, I had back water pressure, which was not fun. And that filled into this pipe and this. Obviously, I immediately turned off the washer dryer, and we, you know, had to deal with it, and we fixed it from there. No big deal. However, I was in the middle of a wash cycle, and I didn't want to leave, you know, wet clothes in there. So I can't do a drying cycle because it actually does, you know, drain the water out. So I took all my clothes out and I just hung them up. You know, and you know, what are you gonna do? This was part of my rebuilding of my bathroom. I wanted to rebuild this anyways. Before, my washer dryer was up on a shelf. You can actually see where the shelf was right there, right where I stopped painting the black. And honestly, I was like, I don't know what I was thinking. And I think my thought was, oh, I don't want to bend down and put it in. That was dumb. That was dumb, Jared. So now I'm dropping the washer dryer down to ground level, and I'm gonna have the shelf up here. And I'm actually gonna probably just have baskets in here instead of like any type of drawer or any type of like, you know, cabinetry or anything like that. That's not there anymore. You see, I have an outlet back there for the washer dryer. I have the knobs for the washer dryer, and then obviously this is all open for me to access any of the plumbing if need be. And I never had to really access any of this. By the end of this video, it'll be now down here. I'll have the shelf up here. Don't think I'll have the baskets in. Maybe I'll have the baskets. I gotta order them. Just changing a lot in here. It's gonna look a heck of a lot better. I gotta retile this over here because the old medicine cabinet that was up here, I was stupid. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was just dumb. We're gonna get this all fixed up and cleaned up, but leave it to me to come in here and do this, you know, while it's 5 degrees outside or 0 degrees outside. All right, guys, so we're like a little bit later. It's like probably a week later, and the bathroom is finally done. I was actually done remodeling the things that I need to remodel like days ago, but I ordered some canvas bags, which I'm going to show you in a second. But I got another project that I'm going to, be doing here over the next couple of days. I'm probably not going to record it because, just fixing up stuff throughout the house is just probably kind of boring. So I have this air conditioning unit. Now this is the evaporator. I put this into the Tiny because it is a low voltage air conditioning unit. It's a low voltage mini split unit, which is kind of rare to find. This is a Cruise and Comfort. It was custom made for this tiny house because I know the owner of Cruise and Comfort. They specialize in 12, 24, and 48 volt mini split units. That's the evaporator portion of it up there. And then there's like the condenser unit down here, and then there's the fans that are underneath. I have piping running up into the top. Let's see, you can actually see the piping up at the top up there. So it goes up the wall and in through the ceiling, and then that's all, that entire evaporator unit is in there. I finished the tiny house in late summer, so I knew I needed some sort of condensation catch, but I never put one in. I knew I had the winter to kind of like brainstorm and figure out what I wanted to do with a condensation catch. No, I wanted to actually hang or suspend a like flower pan from underneath it. And I thought that would be a pretty cool idea to kind of just have this like flower catch, whatever. And it was gonna double as a water catch. Now, the thing with that is the amount of water that comes out of that evaporator, depending on where you are in the country, is a lot. Or I needed something where I can remove and dump the condensation water if need be, or if I don't want to put, a flower pot in. Went shopping online and I found this is actually a flower pot up here. It's only, 3.5 inches depth, 3.5 inches wide, and I think it's like 32 inches long. And it sits right on that windowsill. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go get some like Z-clips to kind of just make it so it doesn't move. Although it's pretty, it's up there pretty good and it probably won't move. But if I ever want to move the tiny house, if I want to move location, I guess I could just take down the flower pots. That's probably a thing I could do as well. This will make it easy for me to remove it, dump the water. I can even, reuse this water if I filter it and put it into my tank. Intentionally do this, but that flower pot length is perfect size for me to fit another one. So I was like, all right, well, might as well just grab another. So I went and bought another one off online, and I'm gonna put another one up here, and that'll kind of like, if I want to put some flowers in there, something that like really soaks up water, then I can do that. If I want to put some ivy in there or something like that, it can kind of droop over, give this space a little bit of color. I'll get direct sunlight, or I'll get sunlight to the flowers. I'll get pretty much constant water from the evaporation, or the condensation, I should say. So it'll require just a little bit of maintenance, but it's not, it's not that big a deal, I don't think. This video is coming out before the tour that I do. I'm gonna do a full tour of my tiny house. I have recently decided to actually put my tiny house up for sale. Now, I know that's gonna come to a shock to a lot of people, and it's gonna not come to a shock to a lot of people. There's a lot of reasons why I'm doing it. I'm not gonna go into that. I actually wanna talk more about it on my podcast that I still haven't recorded yet. And my podcast is, they just don't get it, and it'll only be on this channel. I'm probably not gonna put it on other platforms. They just don't get it as actually a perfect platform for me to talk about why I'm doing it. But really, there's a lot of reasons. I wanted to try this. I wanted to try living more rural. I wanted to try, being out away from the city and doing my damn thing. And I'm very happy with everything that I've done and I've built, and I'm excited about that. But I didn't know how I was gonna react to this lifestyle until I was in it. And as a single male that is now officially in his 40s, I'm just turned 40 last year, I still feel like I have a lot to do and a lot I want to accomplish. Don't want to live the retirement life, and I want to be in a city again. I really miss city living. In 15 years, this might be perfect for me, but right now I don't want this. And the biggest question I have to ask myself, or I had to ask myself, was, would I rather live in the woods and go escape to a city to kind of, just go on vacation, or would I rather live in a city and go escape to the woods? And that was always been my thing. Like, I've always done the whole, I'm gonna live in the city, and when I need to go camping, I go out camping. Or if I need to take a trip, I go out trip into the woods or whatever. I maybe rent an Airbnb and I just kind of escape, you know, life and the hustle and bustle. And you know what? You don't know how you're gonna react to something until you put yourself into that situation. And very fortunate, I was allowed to put myself into this situation. I was able to live it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. And I really feel that going back to maybe a city life is something that is better for me. So there are going to be some changes upcoming. I don't want to say anything just yet, but if you watch my channel, you'll know that me and Sandy Vans are collaborating on a van build, and it's very likely that I actually, if I can move the tiny house quick enough, there's very likely that I'm going to go back into van life for the whole summer. So I might go into the Sandy van that is the collaboration build, and it's called Casper the Sandy Van, or Casper the Sandy Ghost. And I might travel around, and I just have to move my tiny. So that's really the goal, is move my tiny house as quickly as possible and kind of move on to the next chapter. You know what's funny? Is I'm putting my tiny house on websites, and all these tiny house experts, this is kind of what I want to talk about on the They Just Don't Get a podcast. They're all telling me that a 24-foot tiny house, which is what mine is, you know, isn't worth what I'm asking for it. And I'm like, you guys aren't looking at how it's built and the materials that are used in it. Every traditional 24-footer, yes, is just simply slapped together, and yeah, it's probably 80 to 100 grand. Sure, I'm asking a little bit more than that, and I actually wrote out a 3-page PDF of everything that's in here with links to everything. And if you went and did the math, and I could even make a spreadsheet if people would be more happy with that, but if you retailed everything on there, it's about 120,000 that I'm sitting in right now. And I'm only asking about, I think I put it online for 130. I'm not making any money on this whatsoever, which is just mind-boggling to everybody that, you know, is probably seeing this. People can call me crazy, that's fine, but I enjoyed the building process of it. I made a bunch of content out of it, and I loved learning about everything that I did. I loved living in this for, you know, 6 months at this point, and I love living out in the woods, but it didn't fulfill all the needs that I wanted, and that's why I have decided to list it for sale. And that's actually why I'm making all these small little touches, because I wanted to make it perfect for the person that does own it. I now have done the, you know, the bathroom remodel, which wasn't hard. I just had to remove, this is my phone. I just had to remove the washer dryer. I had to bring it out into the living space. I had to take this shelf out, and it was down there before, and I just had to bring it up here. And I had to just, you know, everything that was behind it, I did this for accessibility purposes, really. All of my piping is accessible right through this cavity. So I could actually remove these canvas bags that just, you know, they hold stuff that I need, and there's actually 2 more in the back there, but it is accessible for any maintenance that needs to be done. This is also removable. It's screwed in at the top, so when you drive, it's not going to go anywhere. But if I slide it to the side, or just like literally just pick it up and move it, there's also accessibility back there for turning the valves on and off. If, like, you know, if you're in travel mode, like maybe you want the valves turned off for the washer dryer, I don't know. And then also that mirror is also removable, and you can actually get back there as well. Those are kind of like just the updates that I have. I have one thing I gotta do. I have this piece of aluminum I'm gonna spray black, and it's gonna go right here on the corner. That is literally the last thing I have to do. I got some trim pieces I gotta put in over here. Like I said, I gotta wait for the other flower pot. But yeah, that's why I've been kind of going through and kind of just tidying up the things that I felt like were just small little trim things that I needed to get done. I'm not trying to push my tiny house on my channel. I have people that are trying to sell it with me. I have brokers that are trying to work with me and trying to sell it. But, you know, if you are interested in it, feel free to email me, info@jarrod.tocci.com, and you can email me, and we can talk about it. And I just wanted to announce it on my channel before people saw elsewhere, and then they started asking questions. That's all. Like, you have no idea how much of a life-changing this made, just making that difference. Like, the small little difference that made just life so much easier It's so stupid, but man, did it work out really well. I'll catch you guys next time. Stay tuned for all the videos that I have coming up with the Casper the Sandy Ghost. I'm very excited to do more with them. We are giving a full beginning to end of how that process is done. So definitely want to check that out. You can check the playlist on that if you want to. I'm going to be unveiling that at Tiny Fest, which is an event in Del Mar, California, which is March 16th and 17th. We are unveiling it on the 16th. It's going to be the most wildest ceiling design you'll ever see in a van. I can promise you that. But I will see you guys next time. Later.